All right, 1, 2, 3. We're here with Carlos. It's a pleasure to have you on. This podcast is hosted by myself, Michael, and Ian. It's great to meet you for my first time. I know Ian spoke highly of you, as we just touched on a little bit. So, Carlos, I'd love to meet you. Like, I see some amazing things, American Idol. You got various other companies going on. Tell me, who is Carlos? What's the story? It looks amazing from what I see.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just a funny guy. I'd like to think. I started up. I'm Hispanic. I grew up in Mexico. I was born in Mexico. My parents are Cuban, and I've always been a fan of comedy. Always grew up wanting to do comedy, wanting to be a part of the comedy world as a whole, or just entertainment world in general. I was a huge fan of like comedy shows in Mexico, even though they were like super like quirky and weird. I was always a huge fan of them. And then I moved to Miami. I moved to the United States when I was 10 years old, and I became a huge fan of comedy that much more. I learned English, etc. And then I started taking improv classes and acting classes back in 2015, 2016. And then ever since, I've just was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I want to be able to make people laugh, make money from making people laugh. Yeah, and, you know, fulfill my dreams and be part of like, just being a part of that comedy, like just circle in general, like fulfill so much of like what I want, but obviously money is important. So that also has to come.
How do I monetize this thing, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Let me ask you, like, what got you into that, you think? Like, was it starting from a young age? Like, was it a funny TV show? Like, what, like?
I think, so when I came here to this country, I had just moved from Mexico, and I was always a big fan of like, you know, the things that kids watch that were at that time, like around like early 90s, etc. Like there was like All That on Nickelodeon. I
swear to God, I was about to say, it's All That. It's all that. Right here, early 90s.
Exactly.
Bro.
So I used to watch that like translated in Spanish, and I used to always watch like comedy movies like The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, and all these movies that I always grew up like as a huge fan of in Mexico. And then I got to this country, and then I turned on the TV the first week that I was here, and it was Saturday night, and then I was watching it, and then like Kenan from Kenan and Kel was on TV. And then like Lindsay Lohan was like next to him, and it was like she was like doing like a Harry Potter thing where she was like Hermione with like big boobs. It was crazy. It was a whole thing. And then I was like, this is insane. And I was watching Saturday Night Live for the first time without even speaking English. And then I became a fan. Grew up as a huge fan of SNL. Used to love like Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Will Forte, Bill Hader, all those guys. Like that was like my era. And then ever since, I've always wanted to do a version of that, whether it's SNL or not. I've always just wanted to do comedy, and I did improv classes because I started doing that. I actually went and saw SNL live in 2015 because I like signed up for a lottery, and I got to be like the show in person, which was awesome. And then ever since I went to the show, I was like, this is what I want to do, whether it's in this show, whether it's not in this show. I just want to be on stage, make people laugh, and just do that. And that's what I've been blessed to do, whether it's through improv, sketch, stand-up, and it's been an awesome journey so far.
Awesome. And I love how I hit it on the head. I was like, was it a TV show? Because I feel like that kind of happens with entertainment, right? In a sense. Yeah. Now it's it's
and at that age, there's no TikTok.
Yeah, All That was my thing, bro. Like, love
for sure, dude.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess it's that time too. And then SNL is
like also on NBC6 News, like a couple times on there. So like,
you were on there?
He's been on there. Only in Dade, we do like a little segment on NBC, which like Only in Dade. It's like a big brand here in Miami.
I wanted to ask you because I see that in your bio. I know it's something big. I love the page. It's so fun. I'm looking at it. Like I said, I'm watching it. I get like sucked into the page. I'm like looking through everything.
We call it's great bathroom entertainment. If you're just sitting there and like your legs going up.
You wake up in the morning.
Probably scrolling.
I was looking at the most recent one that's like pinned, and I'm like, wow, I represent the Billionaires Club, almost 6 million followers. I don't even have that many likes or views on videos like that.
I know, it's crazy.
300,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of the like our best posts. It was probably like the truck that like went over the thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like this truck trying to move out, and then he like breaks the entire truck. That was insane. That was the
That's
craziest
like
video.
50% like engagement ratio. Of course, a lot of them maybe are not following or whatever maybe, but that's
of course.
Yeah, but that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind, if you could be brief on that, as you mentioned.
Sure.
Day, like what is this? How'd you start that?
It's
now you have like 900K followers. You guys are verified. It's an awesome channel. It looks legit. Tell me about it a little bit.
So I started on the page. I started working with them around the end of 2020, I want to say. I joined the team like as a content creator. I do like the on the spot, on the street interviews. And it's been really fun. Yeah, the page has been around for a while. The people that are like own it and create it are like super like focused on like just showing Miami what Miami is, and now it's just it's an awesome thing to be a part of. Seriously.
Yeah, so you don't own it, but you're part of it in terms of like creating content for it.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. It looks amazing, man. I love it. I'm about to like really follow. I just did. I'm about to really look at it because I love all that stuff. Who does it, right?
It's awesome. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about. So I hear you came here. You love the comedian stuff. That whole thing, performing. I love that. And now, how did you make that like kind of like become a reality to an extent? I'm sure you're still in that process. You know,
it is. Yeah, it's not an easy battle, but it's definitely about it's something that you can't just pretend that dreams don't take work. So it's just 100%. A matter of like once the pandemic happened, a lot of things changed for comedians and just improvisers and actors in general. So you had to kind of figure out your own ways of doing things while earning money and still doing it. So I decided to start doing like online content and doing little videos and little things here and there so that I could grow my audience more, because I only had like, I think in the middle of the pandemic, I had like 2,000 followers on Instagram, just on its own, or a little less than that even. And that's because I was just on stage doing nothing but just be on stage and like fulfill. I did like 4 nights a week. I was like either doing improv or doing stand-up, and I was just reaching the people that went to the shows without really anything online, Okay. So in the middle of the pandemic, I posted a bunch of little videos, and then there was one video that went really viral, which was like me doing different Spanish accents, like just like somebody was like recording me like in the middle of a restaurant, and they're like, "Oh, can you do accents? I know you're an actor or whatever." And then I was like, "Yeah, I think so." And then I just did a bunch of different Spanish accents, and that went viral on TikTok, and I got like 6 to 7 million views when that video was posted, and a bunch of different pages posted it, including Only in Date. And that's how they found me. And then I ended up starting to work with them through there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was like kind of what changed everything. And then I've been able to grow my following like through that page and through other pages and other projects that I've been able to do. So it's been a blessing.
Was that in between the COVID time? Is that what you're saying?
It was literally like
right in that time period.
I think it was like November, December of 2020 type of thing.
That's amazing, bro. Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm happy for you. It's awesome to see someone that has that passion, and I feel it. It feels genuine. Like I could see from a kid, you're looking at that show, and all the things. I love this story, man. You did a great job.
It's like a slow process, but you go for it.
Just saying it too. I love it. It is a process, but you got to love the process. It seems like you have.
Of course, that's half of the battle. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You have that charisma though, and it's not always the sun doesn't always shine tomorrow. So keep going and not stopping is the key, right? And
absolutely. And if one thing fails, the other one the other one won't. And if another thing fails, 2 will. Like it's just a matter of trying and never stop knocking on whatever door you got to knock at.
Yeah. As I mentioned too, I feel like you're in that process, but you're still having like a lot of, let's say goals, like bucket list type things going on.
Definitely.
Like Ian just alluded to, like the NBC. Like, how'd you get on NBC? And then I want to ask you about American Idol. I know you're on American Idol, or you've been on American Idol. That's crazy. How did those 2 things come about?
So Only in Date has like a connection with like NBC and Telemundo. And then we have like these segments that we do every week. And it's pretty much like going over like top 4 or 5 videos that are safe for TV. And then we talk about them and like make jokes on it on TV and NBC and Telemundo. So in English and in Spanish. So whoever's not following the page or who's not on Instagram, like grandmothers, tias, tíos, etc., abuelitas, they are able to still enjoy. They're still enjoy the page, even though they're not on Instagram. Like my mom doesn't have Instagram, but if she sees me on TV, she's like, "Oh my God, my son's on TV." So it's like, to her, even though
crazy.
it's,
She's calling every friend from the neighborhood block to the current mailman, right?
Yeah. Exactly. From all those people. Yeah.
I have a buddy in California. In California, they have something similar too, where they just talk about car accidents or something like that, and they make jokes about it. And then my friend ended up sending me one of your videos, I think, Only in Date. And I'm like, wow, he's in California and he's watching like Only in Date too.
It's crazy. I don't know how that page has like grown to the point that like everybody just follows it all over the place. And it's
the charisma, man, that you bring, the energy, because I don't know anybody else on there other than just you,
Thank you, man. 100%. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, it's a team effort for sure.
Yeah. And the content, like the fails content, that stuff just hits. Like it just goes.
Of course.
The algorithm just eats that up. Like people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
It's insane. It's
like what people want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We connected originally through one of my mentors, Rob, He's like, Carlos, he's an awesome guy. You guys are both here in Miami, so.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. That guy was awesome. He actually, I won an American Idol, like we talked, like we were saying, and I guess I'll go ahead and tell that story.
I would love to hear how you did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was a crazy thing because that was also like mid-pandemic, and I had like a friend that was a producer for the show, and he was like, hey, listen, I need like TV moments for the show. Like it's all just singers. Like I need something that's different. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, sure. Let me think of something, and then we'll see what we can do. And I never expected to do anything with that because I was like, I'm not a singer. I don't. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So what happened was that he called. I called him, and I was like, hey, listen, what I can do is I can try to play a character, and then within that character, then it won't be me like embarrassing myself. Like I'll just play a character, and then I'll make it a character that I know. And I had this character that I used to do in improv and sketch comedy that was called Beauty's Bell, which is like just like a Cuban reggaetonero, like, hey, what's going on, mommy? How you doing?
I thought you were Cuban.
I am Cuban.
He does it that good. You are Cuban.
He's in Mexico,
My parents are Cuban. My parents are Cuban. I was born in Mexico, so I still have my Cuban roots. I'm not offending anybody. I can offend myself. You know what I mean? So I was
so low, man. I feel like at this point in time, like you could do anything. If someone hates on it, like they just like
it's fine. So I just went on the show and I did the auditions. I went like through all of the producers, all of the executive producers. I did the auditions in front of them, asked the character. I never broke character one time except for the one guy that got me into doing that. And then they flew me out to San Diego. I auditioned in front of Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, Ryan Seacrest. I met all those guys, and then I was able to go through. I sang Fireball by Pitbull while everybody else was like, oh, what are you gonna sing? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna sing like Adele or like Harry Styles. I'm like, I'm singing Fireball by Pitbull, So it was like definitely a different vibe. And then went on there, danced, and just I made them laugh. It was funny, and then they sent me to the Hollywood round, even though I like didn't know how to sing at all. So
that's so crazy. It
was nuts, bro. It was super nuts.
What happened with that? From when was that? Like when was this?
That was last year. That was last year.
Yo, so what in COVID did you like? You just connected all the dots, huh? You like just made it
kind of. I think I was just always like I was very focused in COVID, and I think a lot of people were too because there was really nothing much to do. So like 100%. While I was at home, I was working on a lot of different things, like my website. I worked on like perfecting some jokes. I worked on just a lot of like just trying to do this thing to keep and taking it to the next level, and it kind of just worked out that way, and I'm super grateful for it, honestly.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel it. You're focused. That's what's up. Let me ask you, Carlos. Like we ask everybody this, Ian and I. What's like your morning routine? Not to jump into something completely off the bat, but what is it? I'm curious because we find a lot of value in this. It's interesting, as you may have of course imagined. But.
Yeah. So it's something that sometimes it takes a little work to do, but once if I fall off for like 2-3 days, I always jump back on it. I always wake up, I go outside of my house, I sit down in the yard, and I just meditate for 10 minutes. I listen to this app called Calm, and I just close my eyes, I meditate.
It's been showing up on my sponsored ads. Calm. I'm like, it's calm.
Yeah, please put it. Yeah, let's get some money from. So. Calm. I listen to. I do that. Wake up. Do that. I then take a ginger shot. Just to wake up, and then I go running for 30 minutes outside, just around my block, and then I just kind of sit down, drink some coffee, and then start my day. Go through my emails, go through all that stuff, and just try to take things easy at the beginning because I used to be able to I try to not be on my phone if I wake up but if sometimes like obviously it fails. But if I can just leave it away, go meditate, go running, do a ginger shot, chill out, that is usually the way that like things will go as best as possible for my day.
Yeah, that's the best morning routine, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we hear that very commonly in all the previous like podcasts. Almost everybody, you know, meditating,
Really?
exercising, you know, and then you know they try to keep their phone away. I'm
keep
having
the
a hard
phone
time
away.
doing that, like leaving the phone away.
And then usually after I meditate, I like sit down for like 15 minutes to like just try to write, like just like for stand up, you know, or just to get some writing done.
Yeah, like extract thoughts, right? Document these thoughts a little bit. It's healthy to do this, to journal.
You have to.
Oh, it's so healthy. I like your answer is bro. You have to. I love it.
I mean,
it's like
just,
some people just it's underrated. I hear you. Word. Nah, it's so good. I like that because I've been saying that too. Like I have this notepad here, and I just write on it for like no reason. Like these days, and I just feel like better after. It's like after a run, you know, feels good, right?
Of course, you're letting all those like everything out just into paper. It's just it's so much easier to put it out there and just keep it in your mind. And you're like it's just jambled all over the place, you know.
Yeah, let me ask you. I'm curious because you said ginger shot, which is a little different, which is not because I do ginger shots too. My girl like gets ginger. She makes them even, you know, and makes like a jar of it. You know, ginger with cayenne pepper and lemon and some other shit. Do you make it yourself? I'm even curious.
Nah, straight from Publix, dude.
Oh, Publix, just buy the shots.
Yeah, they just have like this like huge. Yeah, there's also like some in Costco. It's just like you buy like a little bulk of them.
Yeah,
that's how I
love it. I love it.
I don't have time to make it in the morning. If I would, I would. That's a whole other morning routine.
Let me ask you honestly though, how many mornings do you feel you get that going? Let's say out of a 30 day, like how many mornings do you get in it?
I think like 5 out of 5 times. I try to do it out of the 7. Yeah.
And then your weekend to chill a little bit, relax.
Well, just to relax. And I usually wake up early, like in the morning. So I like to just take it chill during the weekend. I still try to get at least exercise done, but I might not meditate, for example, on the weekend sometimes.
Yeah, because I love it. I love it. Yeah. We're so interested in this because it's really crazy. As you know, there's really that trend across the the board.
Of course.
You know, with these things, and you're focused, you're zoned, you're making things happen, and there's really that what's behind the scenes that's making it all go on, right? Logically. So it's awesome to hear. You know, another thing I want to ask you is to like the Carlos that's watching this, let's say, the younger Carlos, maybe your age or the older one, that really loves SNL, loves cooking too, you know, watch what's the movie? I could do a Good Burger, you know.
Parent Trap. That's a Good Burger, yes.
You know, Good Burger. Like just loves comedy, right? He wants to follow this path. What do you say to them? What would you say to like that person that's inspired and just like loves this?
I think you have to know that you love it, be sure that you love it, and then know that it's gonna take time and it's gonna take work and it's gonna take you being like, God damn, why the fuck am I doing this? This is so hard. I'm not gonna make any money. And then getting through those parts and then slowly realizing like if you just put in work, things will happen. And if you put it out there, and I believe in like manifestation and all that, and if you just put it out there into the universe and you follow what you need to follow and you do the work and you do the shows and you write and you go and you put yourself out there, I think, which is the most important part, like unapologetically. I think that's the most the way that it's something I would tell anybody that's trying to follow any sort of pursuit that might not be like normal type of thing.
Yeah, but what would you say to the person? Oh, go ahead, Ian.
No, I was gonna say, like, I think DJ Khaled has a similar story like that too. Like, he did a ton of, just kept doing his thing, and then just recently, like, is when he really blew up. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right.
Yeah. I've heard a million stories about that.
Passion and consistency, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, he's always
all that stuff.
DJ Khaled was in the cut in a club with like 20 people spinning, hustling. Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you see that, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you though, because I feel like kind of what you touched on is get out there, which is a big part to what you do. What would you say to someone that's like, and you don't have to have all the answers, don't feel like that.
Yeah.
I love it, no pressure. But what would you say to the person that just says maybe, okay, I need to get out there, but I don't have the confidence to get out there? Because what you do is a big confidence.
Fair.
That variable is huge. Like if
that's true. That's
what would
true.
you say like to that person that's like, wait, but Carlos, I hear you. I got to get out there, but I don't have how did you get your confidence to do it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it's just a matter. Since I was a kid, I was always just so like always on, like trying to like be like the center of attention, I guess. So it definitely helped that way. But I mean, like I was like shy in middle school and shy like through like some of the like the beginning of high school, and like you got to just learn to grow out of that, because then nothing really comes to people that don't speak up, you know, or to people that
100%.
don't show up and do
Yeah.
things the way that, because if not, you're just gonna stay stuck to the machine and just be part of that machine.
Yeah,
You know,
ask and you shall receive, right? Yeah.
kind of. So you have to be aware. You have to actively get out there and know that you're taking twice the effort than someone like me or you guys, that it just comes natural to us. You have to be able to be like, I have to do this, you know, or like this is a thing. It's like going and doing exercise if you don't want to do it. You have to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to be confident today, and I'm going to put myself out there. And little steps are obviously going to help more and more and more as time goes.
Momentum.
Yeah.
Do you have like a good environment of people, you would say, around you that help you stay so focused? Yeah, right. That's definitely a big thing.
Yeah, I think other comedians, other people that do different just comedy in general. Like as comedians, we're always trying to just write, and we're like shooting jokes back and forth. I'm friends with a lot of artists and a lot of musicians, so that world, it's a very similar creative environment that we're all kind of always under, I think.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like someone that wants to become doing what you're doing, they should just get in that community, and then that community will help teach them, right? Break down these things.
Yeah, community is huge and all this stuff. You got to let yourself be helped and help others too.
Oh, I like that. That's a good way to put it. And then, another thought I want to ask you is what did you find to be like an obstacle along your path? Like, what was one of those points that was just a pain point or a pinnacle moment that you look back on, you're like, wow, that was like, that held me a bit. I could have did it like that, like throughout your process. Anything comes out?
Sure. I think it's just, I mean, I'm going to say this, but everybody felt that way too. Like when COVID happened, I really did, like for the first few months, because all I did was be on stage, and now we couldn't be on stage or with people, which is like just the whole thing that I do, which is doing improv and stand-up. And improv, you're with people on stage, and by stand-up, you're with people here, and there's people watching you. So I was like, holy shit, like what am I gonna do? How am I gonna figure this out? Like, this is what I want to do, but now it's not happening. It's like my job was deleted from the world. So I had to figure it out, and just I started a bunch of little things, videos, little podcasts that some of them I don't do. I'm also like revamping another podcast that I'm doing now called Carlos Live, and I do it like as a talk show. And I had the idea like for a while, and then it's just, things happen, and you got to just like make sure things are all right before you actually put it out there. But yeah, man, I think it's just a matter of you knowing that like at that time when COVID was happening, like things were going to be better on the other side. But towards the beginning of it, you don't know what the fuck was going on. So that was definitely the hardest part, doing what I do,
Yeah.
And I didn't really know how I was going to get over it, and then we did.
Yeah, kind of like created, I feel, a force for you to like, okay, let me like connect some dots. Let me build relationships.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel
more than just in person, online.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome, bro. I see a bright future for you, man. You got a good head on your shoulders. And you seem, like I said, I don't want to repeat it, but you have that charisma. Like, I feel you. I can feel you, but we're digital, right? But I feel you.
Dude.
Right, Ian?
I appreciate that.
I'm looking at I feel like, I don't know if I'm over speaking or not, but like Keenan and Kel, like you have that vibe,
Oh, dude, thank you.
Yeah, it's all about, I guess, like, already, like connecting the dots, right? Like if you connected with the founder of SNL 20 years ago, you could have been that, like you fit the energy. It feels like the same. When I turn on SNL, I feel like, you could probably turn into 10 other people and make me laugh,
For sure. Yeah, you never know. They just got rid of 4 people. So maybe it is SNL. Who knows? Pete Davidson and Brian Calvary, they just got out. Yeah. So
who did Michael
there's some
Che?
space for some Latin boys. Yeah. No, Michael Che didn't leave.
He's still there. Who left again? Just Pete Davidson?
It was Pete Davidson, Kyle Mooney, who I loved, long hair guy, Adie Bryan, and Kate McKinnon, which is like a legend.
That girl is like my favorite. Yeah, that girl.
She's great. She played like Hillary Clinton and all these incredible characters. It's like Alien Lady. She's awesome. She's hilarious. Yeah.
No, literally. I was like, what?
Look up to all those guys.
Yeah.
I know, but she's been there for like 10 years almost, which is crazy. Yeah.
It's insane. That's it. That's all they needed to do. I feel like.
Of course, another step for life. Yeah.
That's it. SNL, baby. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you taking the time. And Yeah, Ian and I, we're always here, always gonna support. It's all love on
Thanks,
our
dude.
side. Yeah, we're all big on relationships. You know what I mean? You already know.
Yeah. Are you guys here in Miami? Are you guys based in Miami?
I'm full time here in Miami. Yeah.
I'm in New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're in New York. Oh, well, I just came from New York. I was there all weekend. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Next time you're here,
I
let me
did
know,
some
bro.
shows for sure, dude. Let's hang.
Yeah,
Let's hang.
lunch
Definitely.
or dinner on me, whatever you want.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'd love
dude,
to check out some of the local shows here too. Like
yeah, come
Yeah.
through. I have a show July 31st at the Miami Improv. I'm headlining the show. It's going to be a whole thing. So definitely come through, Ian. And if you're in town for some reason, come through as well.
Oh, 100%. Keep us in the loop with that. We would love to. I love
For
that
sure,
stuff,
bro.
genuinely. Like, I would love to go. I love that shit, you know?
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
all right.
So keep
Well, I
it up,
appreciate
my
you
man.
guys. Thank you for
Keep it
doing this.
up
Appreciate
and
it.
keep doing your thing, all right? All love.
Thank you,
bro.
guys.
Take care,
Have
brother.
a good one.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching this episode. We upload a new episode every Friday at 5 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. We as well greatly appreciate those that have subscribed to the channel. We appreciate the love and the support. Lastly, if you've missed last week's episode, tune into the episode right here.